Everybody, everyone back here for FSi DFS. Going to be breaking down the 10-game slate for Monday for Major League Baseball. Limited time here, so I'm just going to fly right through this and jump right into things. Hope everybody had a good weekend and good Mother's Day. Yankees and Blue Jays, supposed to be Burrito. We'll have to see who it is. Then a really good bullpen behind him. Manoah on the other side here. Not playing any of the Yankees pitchers, not interested there. Manoah's okay, but the Yankees are starting to get a little bit better. Just like added some of these bats, like when Bader back in the lineup here, even though it's righty and righty. Jacob Bauer, who's like 2K and minimum price, has been really good here. So Manoah's had his struggles here, so I don't really think he's in play a ton other than GPPs. Yankees bats, I do like them. Probably my second favorite stack here, with Bowers being 2K. They all can really fit in really nicely. And Toronto, other than the top of the lineup, has kind of really struggled. Even like Chapman's kind of cooled off. So it's just pretty much Bichette, Guerrero, Varsho. Springer's been up and down too. Bottom of the lineup hasn't been great, so not really interested in Toronto today. Next game, Mariners and Red Sox. Wind is blowing out here, low miles per hour, 72 degrees, so it's good hitting weather. George Kirby and Tanner Houck. Kirby's a good pitcher. He's got a short leash, and with all the lefties that Boston has in their lineups now, yeah, they might be rolling out their 7 or 8 lefties versus him. So not interested in Kirby. Houck on the other side is good against righties. I don't know. Seattle's really cooled off. It's like Julio Rodriguez keep on falling further and further on down the line in the lineup. He's projected hitting like 5th or 6th today. So maybe the lefties a little bit here at Clinic, but it doesn't really scare me a ton. I don't love him, but in a GPP, I think Tanner Houck, could work for you. I'm not going to get a bunch of strikeouts, but might eat up some innings and just, be okay. Seattle bats kind of like a little bit against him, but not in love by any means. I think they always have the potential there. And then Boston bats, the lefties, I think would make my top GPP just because I really think Kirby will have some ownership at pitcher. I think there'll be some leverage there. Milwaukee and St. Louis, a little bit of a weather game here. I have to keep an eye on that. It's only like 40% chance of rain. Peralta and Flaherty. St. Louis has been disappointing recently, so Peralta I think is definitely in play. Probably my second favorite top pitcher, high end if you're paying up on the slate here. And Flaherty on the other side, really not interested. I think he'll have some ownership, but I really like the Brewers as a stack here. Probably my third favorite one of the night. That's probably make it fourth because Arizona's probably going to be up there too. But they're in the cheaper range, so with some of the bats, so I like them over there in that category. St. Louis, not really interested. I know they put up some runs last night on Sunday Night Baseball, but Peralta is a good pitcher, and I don't think they just be a leverage play if anything. Braves in Texas, Morton and see. Looks like it might be Cole Regan now instead of Dunning. We'll have to see who goes there. If it's Dunning, might be a little bit interested in him, but not a ton. But Morton, I think can be in play. But Texas has a really good offense. Seager might be back soon sometime, so I don't think I'll be playing Morton here. It just doesn't have a ton of K upside for me. Braves in Texas, I think both of them make great GPP stacks. It wouldn't be really playing them as like one-offs or any other way. Cubs in Houston, Tyon and Valdez. I think this is going to be a pitching duel. It's got a 7.5 total. Tyon's not the great pitcher. He's working back from the IL, but I think he's working up enough that against this Houston team, if you're looking for somebody in the cheap category at 7.5 to make some of your stacks work, then I think he's definitely somebody that's playable here. And Valdez on the other side, I think is probably going to be one of the top pitchers on the slate between he and Kelly. And against this Cubs team, so Cubs would just be a leverage stack, in Houston maybe a GPP stack. Not super interested in them, even as one-offs. Like best hitters are like 6K and 5.2. That's just a high price to play. Like Bregman, righty and righty, don't like it. Durbin, not interested. Brady, who's been horrible. So really, there's just so many righties here against Tyon. I mean, Tyon's been good against righties. I think I really like Tyon more and more there. Coors Field, a little bit of rain potentially, but it doesn't look too bad here. Reds and Rockies, wind blowing in a little bit. Hunter Green and Connor Siebold. Hunter Green is definitely in play here. They've lost Cron, one of their big bats, to the IL. We've seen Colorado struggle even at home to put up runs. So we'll just have to probably Moustakas might take his place at first base, and he's been bad this year. It's just really kind of like seems like over the hill and just not just kind of like Brandon Belt on the Blue Jays, just can't really hit anymore. So and Seaball on the other side is definitely a fade. So Reds make a decent stack here. They're not too priced up for Coors Field, but sometimes I'm hesitant to play them the first game out there because it seems like sometimes it's a little bit of adjustment and they don't always go out. But, Seaball's a bad pitcher, bad bullpen, great combination for hitting. I just have to watch the weather on this one. And Colorado, I think maybe a cheap stack, but even being in Coors against Hunter Green, I mean, I really just don't like much of them tonight. Royals and Padres, you have Kelly versus Waka. Brad Keller, not interested in at all. Waka, I think, have some interested. He has had struggles, but KC is just really bottom five in a lot of offensive categories, and especially away from home here. In more of a pitcher's park, not interested at all. I think, Padres definitely make top stack tonight. I don't know if they'll have a ton of ownership with like Coors Field and some of the other options here, but definitely, they're in play here against Keller and a bad bullpen, and Kansas City would just be leverage because I think Walker is going to have some ownership here. Diamondbacks and A's, Kelly, seen different pitchers for Oakland, but I think it's going to be Drew Rosinski, the KBO guy that's come over, kind of reverse splits guy. I love Arizona bats. I think they're definitely in play here. I have them in the cheap category. They're starting to get up there in price, but there's some cheap ones like Gurriel and Pat Smith, who I like it in the 3K range. Definitely can help you get some of the higher price bats in. And then the A's, I think, are like the number one leverage stack just because I think Kelly would be probably the most popular pitcher on the slate here. Philadelphia and San Francisco looks like an opener situation. And Falter is going to be a long reliever. I have him on the cheap side, but if that's the situation, I don't know. If you're dumpster diving, I think Falter potentially doesn't have a ton of a K rate, but San Francisco hasn't been great against left-handed pitching. And Alex Wood is absolutely no. He only pitched like 1 or 2 innings his last couple of times out, and Philadelphia's got a great lineup here. So, I definitely can see playing some Philly. I think I actually like them a little bit better than Seattle here. So I'm going to switch these. Even Seattle I like just because of the win, but I think Houck is good against righty, so I don't like them as much there. Twins and Dodgers, Pablo Lopez and Syndergaard. Lopez should be decent against the Dodgers. He's been good. Like, they're still the Dodgers, but I think he's definitely in play here. Kind of high price, so probably a lot of leverage. Not many people are going to play him at 10-1 here. So if he does actually have a great game against the Dodgers, who aren't, they're getting like JD Martinez back in, but that's a right-handed bat. So, I think they're definitely. Lopez is in play here. Syndergaard on the other side, no, he's just not going deep. He's giving up runs, stolen bases. Although Minnesota, I think, is like dead last in stolen bases. I just hope like Nick Gordon gets in. But like Kyle Farmer has been hitting really well. Like, they put up 11 runs yesterday, so Minnesota offense is clicking. So I think they're definitely in play here. So let's see what we got for our builds, and we'll get you on your way for your Monday. In cash, I'm taking Kelly as my pitcher. Walker Tellis, I'm stacking Milwaukee, and Arizona. So Walker Tellis, there's $100 difference there. Marte, third base. Decide if you want Adams or Rojas. Adames, Yelich, Gurriel. It's kind of hard to get Carroll in here and get a good SP2, but if you're going to pay down, take a chance on somebody for SP2, then you can get Carroll in. I wouldn't play Winker. He's just been absolutely horrible, but maybe take a one-off here, or the guy that's Bowers, who's absolutely free for the Yankees at 2K. I believe he's outfield eligible. might be a great fill-in there. Yes, if he's in the lineup, especially if he's leading off, that'd be awesome. FanDuel, same thing. Kelly, Marte Rojas, Adames, Carroll, Yelich is the core of the build there. It's a little bit easier to get them in, and you're going to have to always take a one-off. So decide where you want to take it. If you can't find great outfielders, then you might be able to take it there. If not, you can take it to the utility, and then there's plenty of outfielders on Arizona to finish your stack if you take Tellis at first base instead of Walker. And then for your GPPs, we can go a lot of different ways. On DK, I think I'm going to go with Cincinnati and mix in some Minnesota. So Valdez is my pitcher. Probably going to go maybe Tyon as my SP2 or Waka. Stevenson, Steer, India, fill in the other ones as, there's Minnesota guys that work there. Correa, like I said, Farmar has been hitting well also if he's in the lineup. I'll probably go like Fraley, Krylov, and hopefully maybe Nick Gordon's in, so that makes a really cheap outfield and helps me get like my other bats and a decent SP2 in. So that's where I'm going to build that way. And like I said, Farmar saves you a little bit over Correa. He's only 3-1. Correa's 4-5. So that could definitely make that stack work for you. And Gallo might be out also. He's questionable. So maybe Carrillo might be end up lead off, or even if Kepler ends up leading off there, he's usually pretty cheap. So I don't think he's injured. I think he's available. So there's what I've got for you. So if you have any comments, put them in the chat below. I'll get back to you on questions. Hit me up at MikeRoto31 on Twitter. If these videos help you, please like, subscribe to our channel, share with your friends. And if you want more information on FSi DFS, it's in the description of the video. You can go there and sign up for our package. Very cheap for weekly, monthly packages for MLB to try to help you out even more. So thanks for watching. Good luck in your contest. Hope your week starts out great with some good return on your DFS games, and I'll see you next time.